Well, for a change I've took all the cardboard out. We've actually got something well packed. Let's hope I haven't spoken too soon. Well, there we have it. Almost a container yard. Well, not quite. They were, I think it cost me about 23 quid with the postage for all of these, which is expensive, I suppose, for a bit of plastic, but actually buying brand name containers, even HO or OO, are £10 each. Even getting stuff like this from China, they're getting up towards £30 for branded ones. Unpainted or just plain painted ones, you're still looking £25 for 9 that you got to then buy decals for. So these are weathered. They are HO. I did wonder, but all the little 20 footers have got Walthers on them, so obviously they're of US origin and they match the 40 footers. The only oddball is there's a Corgi curtain side body off a Stobart lorry. But I suppose we can do something with that, maybe paint it and have it in a yard as a storage thing. It's certainly not a shipping container, but and you can see normally a shipping container body is wider than a lorry body, but obviously this is OO, they're HO. But in the big scheme of things, when that's totally somewhere else, you're not going to really know the difference, are you? But obviously these will find a home on my American intermodals and the Gunda, whatever they are, the Gunda farts or whatever they're called, to give me some double stacking. And I've got the other unmade kit that will take another 5 double stacks. So not quite enough to fill them, but it's a start. But I do want some OO ones as well. I'm on the lookout for, because I've got two of the twin sets, or no, 3 of the twin sets of the Bachmann ones, which a couple of those I think have got the wrong containers on for my period of time, but I'm not overly worried. I'm not going to spend a fortune because it's not perfectly 1980s, but I might get some from Sea Rail. They look quite good for the money they are, versus buying some from China, which are obviously going to be HO. I might just get some plain ones for the, for filler, but we'll worry about that. That's the sort of thing I look at, when it comes up, and rather than pay over the odds to get it, I just wait, bide me time, and get it if it's the right price, which is getting a bit hard on eBay at the minute. I've been after the pylons, the Hornby pylons, and people are paying more for the kits on eBay than you can go and find them on model shops, although they get a bit thin on the ground in stock, but that's another tale. I did get the other part of the Fowler kit from the private seller, which looks okay. It's all still new, sealed in the box, so should be okay. Pooch fan. It's just over 29 degrees C up here in the man cave. It's a tad warm. We have some Amazon offerings. I got a £5 off as long as I spend more than 15, but it had to be an Amazon sold, Amazon supplied item. So I was after another paint set to help fill my rack, and I went for, there was a few choices, but some of them were a bit too bright and garish. They were sort of like the wargaming type things with the fantasy paint colours and that, so I went for German camouflage. Nice sort of dark earthy tones and natural colours. There's a nice brassy one in there for pipe work and copper. So it's a nice sort of blend of obviously dark tones being camouflage, but I picked them up for 25 quid delivered to the door within a day. So not too bad, that'll help fill the rack. And my model railway scenes order came in. There's been a bit of a delay, but I don't know whether he's been away or it was because I had a few items personalised. So we'll have a look there. I'll just get the box out of the way. We also purchased another one of the LED lights. As it's a bit dark in here at the minute because I've got the curtain shut to keep the bloody sun out. So yeah, it's 2 now, and that's the camera rig. I've got an identical one I'm filming this piece from. So again, it's just the adjustable light level. So hopefully that will help with this segment. Yep, so some cherries again. They weren't any dearer than buying them from China. They are on the small side, but they'll be okay for, say, ones in people's gardens maybe, or some smaller young saplings growing on banks and such like. Obviously again they need a little bit of variation in colour, probably some spray. Bringing me on to another thing, I have an airbrush compressor and 2 brand new airbrushes. Didn't want the brushes, but the kit came up, made them an offer and they declined the offer, and no one bid on it, so I got it for what I offered it for them anyway. So as long as there's no sour grapes, I haven't had a dispatch notification, so hopefully they will honour the sale and I will receive a brand spanking new compressor and kit. But watch this space, as they say. Another Royal Mail van. Now, I presume the Oxford and anyone else BT are only licensed for what they sell, because obviously back in the days when these were running around the road, the Mark IV/5 escort vans were also prolific delivery vans, none of which are done in Royal Mail. I think Corgi do one, but obviously it's not 1/76 scale. So if anyone knows of any 1/76 scale escort van kits, white metal, plastic, or even someone that can pump one out on a resin printer, just so I can have a couple of maybe Ford Escort Mark V's. I happen to have one sitting in my garage, a genuine ex-Royal Mail escort van. If anyone needs the size and dimensions, I can offer you that. Right, so with model railway scenes, Great Eastern Railway resin printed bench seats, which have got the cast iron logo. Top tip there, Peter. Might want a larger bag. I didn't want to risk breaking these trying to get them out of the package as they were catching on the Ziploc mechanism. You get 3 resin printed delicate, but you can see, if the camera will focus, the cast iron detail of the Great Eastern logo that's still round in some of the preserved railways. I think Sheringham's got one. Pedestrian railings, which goes across your sort of crossings to stop people walking across diagonally. Bit of pedestrian controlling, so I thought I would get a couple of those to go on my crossing, and maybe the pedestrian crossing if I ever get the issue with the traffic lights sorted out, which went to dispute with AliExpress. They decided that even though I sent a video explaining exactly what the other issue was, that I hadn't supplied enough evidence, so they've only given me half the money back. Close the case, end of dispute, can't do anything else, can't open it, can't proceed, can't do another query on it. You can't open any more than one dispute, so you have to get everything in one go. If it's a broken issue and a reliability issue or something, you're screwed. Once you open one, you can't go back and do another. So I've appealed, even though in the last one I said, look, if you're not going to give me the money back, I'm just going to go to my credit card company, which worked last time when they cocked up. But this time they've just said, £4.77 of your £9 something back. So yeah, that will be a watch this space. I've tried to look and see if there's an update on it, and I can't even get any information up at all, and their page errors and links are dead, don't work. So not good at the minute. Anyway, post office sign. For a post office, there's even a couple of the little emblems that would project out of the walls diagonally. He does a number of those if anyone's interested. There is also a custom option, so there is a new Lin with the BR logo on it, and a few 3D printed BR logos to obviously paint and stick on various buildings to identify they're part of the station, and a couple of the old traditional style lampposts. For some reason they weren't too bad off of him, but a lot of places charging quite a bit of money. I can find them on a Chinese site, but there's like 10 and I don't want 10, and they're 20 odd pound plus VAT plus delivery, you know, so you're talking 25 quid, £2.50 each, I guess. That's not that dear, but I don't want 10. I only want a couple more. But yeah, so they're the old traditional ones. Some of them used to have the actual station name on the fluorescent covering, but whether I can manage to get anything that small, maybe just a black mark to symbolise there might be something written on there. But yeah, and you obviously get an extensive warning message not to put any high voltage supply into them, because obviously doubtless you see it on the AliExpress reviews of all the little LED street lights and things. People just shove 12 volts straight on them and smoke the LEDs almost instantly. These are supplied with a resistor, which is always handy as long as people remember to use them. I even use them on low voltage, because sometimes you do find these some of the lighting's a little bit over the top even with a resistor, but that's personal preference, I guess. But that is it for now, and I can't turn you off because I haven't got me remote.